Space is weird. Not the "oh look, a pretty star" kind of weird, but the "we're floating on a giant rock in a place where the rules themselves start acting like they've had too much coffee" kind of weird. And then comes the question that twists brains and gives cosmologists mild existential dread. If the universe is expanding, what is it expanding into? Nothing? Something? A cosmic infinity sandwich with no bread? The answer, or lack thereof, is both mind-bending and quietly hilarious when you consider that humans are supposed to be the species capable of rational thought. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old. In that time, it has gone from an incomprehensibly dense, hot state to the sprawling, complex cosmos we see today. Galaxies formed, stars ignited and died, planets spun into orbits, and black holes lurked like cosmic pranksters. And yet, the entire thing is growing. Space itself is stretching, carrying galaxies along like raisins in a rising loaf of cosmic bread. But here's the question that makes people stumble in public. If the universe is everything, and it's expanding, what exactly is it expanding into? And yes, that is the kind of question you could easily lose a few hours, or a few decades, thinking about, while also mildly questioning your life choices. One of the first things to understand is that the expansion of the universe doesn't require a space to expand into. Galaxies aren't moving into a pre-existing void. Rather, the fabric of space itself is stretching. It's like inflating a balloon covered in dots. The dots move away from each other, but the balloon isn't inflating into anything in particular. In a cosmic sense, the outside of the universe doesn't exist, or at least, it doesn't exist in any way our brains can really picture. It's the kind of absurd, counterintuitive reality that makes humans both clever and slightly ridiculous. We try to imagine the unimaginable and fail spectacularly. Light years don't make this any easier. The observable universe is roughly 93 billion light years across, but that's just the part we can see. Beyond that, there might be more universe or less. Or maybe the concept of beyond is meaningless. Trying to conceptualize it can feel like staring into an empty closet, realizing it has no back wall, and wondering why you ever thought you could hang your coat there. And yet, humans persist. We calculate, simulate, theorize, and occasionally conclude, well, this is weird. Cosmologists have theories, though they're as mind-bending as the question itself. The most accepted model says the universe is flat or very close to flat on large scales. Flat, in this sense, doesn't mean like a pancake in your kitchen, but more like the geometry of space behaves normally. Parallel lines don't curve into each other, and the rules of Euclid more or less apply. In such a universe, expansion is intrinsic. Space stretches, and distances between faraway galaxies increase over time. But stretching into what? Nothing. That's right. The universe can grow without needing an external stage. It's like being able to gain weight without any food, completely baffling and slightly unfair. The funny part is how humans wrestle with this concept. Every analogy falls short. You can't inflate a balloon infinitely in a room of finite size without eventually hitting the ceiling. You can't paint an expanding canvas if there's no wall beyond it. And yet, the universe doesn't care about our analogies, our logic, or our sense of spatial decorum. Space expands because that's how it behaves, and our brains flail in response. It's cosmic comedy. We're clever enough to ask the question, but the answer is a shrug. Then there's the idea of multiple universes, or the multiverse. Some physicists propose that our universe is one bubble among many, floating in a higher dimensional space. If that's true, maybe expansion is a bubble inflating inside a frothy cosmic foam. Other bubbles might collide, drift apart, or fizzle out. The humor here is in the scale. Trillions of universes, all expanding, merging, or popping like cosmic popcorn, while humans argue over reality TV and TikTok trends. The universe does not prioritize our priorities, and that disconnect is strangely amusing. Even our language struggles. Words like outside, edge, or beyond imply spatial relationships that may not exist. The universe may be infinite, so asking what it expands into is like asking what's north of the North Pole. Or worse, trying to imagine the taste of a color you've never seen. Our brains are built for survival on a planet with gravity, air, and coffee, not for grappling with a totality that contains all of existence. And the humor is in the attempt. We invent terms, diagrams, and simulations to approximate what cannot be approximated. We're basically cosmic toddlers drawing on the walls of infinity. Expansion isn't uniform either. Galaxies bound by gravity don't get stretched apart. Clusters hold together. It's the space in between that grows, like stretching elastic bands while trying to keep marbles glued together. The result is a universe where distances increase, but the structures themselves remain intact. And again, the comedy sneaks in. Gravity and expansion are having a slow-motion tug-of-war, and humans are here trying to referee with chalkboards, supercomputers, and caffeine. Dark energy adds another layer. Discovered through observations of accelerating cosmic expansion, dark energy behaves like a repulsive force that pushes space apart. Its origins and mechanics are mysterious, and yet it drives the universe's growth. Imagine the universe as a loaf of bread, but someone secretly turned on a superpowered yeast engine in the middle, and no one knows why. The result is galaxies drifting faster and faster, and humans calculating numbers that might as well be scribbles on a cosmic sticky note. The humor is subtle, but it's there, like the universe is winking at us while simultaneously ignoring us. Then comes the mind-bending observation that, because of expansion, there are galaxies so far away their light will never reach us. They already exist in a sense, but forever out of reach. The universe is growing faster than information can travel, creating pockets we can never see. It's like a cosmic game of hide and seek with rules you don't understand. And humans naturally keep counting, measuring, and theorizing, as if we might eventually outsmart infinity itself. The audacity is funny. Time adds yet another wrinkle. In a universe expanding without an outside, beginning and end become abstract. The Big Bang marks the start of the observable universe, but there was no edge to the explosion in a spatial sense. Space itself expanded everywhere at once. Asking what it expands into is simultaneously legitimate and meaningless, a riddle that, if you think about it too long, makes your head ache and your coffee go cold. And humans persist anyway, scribbling formulas and giving names to things we may never fully grasp. In practical terms, this means the universe doesn't need extra space to expand. Expansion is a property of space itself. Galaxies move apart because the metric that defines distance stretches, not because there's a void they are moving into. It's a concept that sounds simple in a textbook, but defies intuition. And the humor sneaks in when you consider that our intuition evolved to catch fruit, avoid predators, and find water, not to track accelerating spacetime. We're like fish arguing about the vastness of the ocean, while struggling to swim past a particularly aggressive seaweed. The observable universe itself is limited by light speed. Beyond the horizon lies more universe, but information from there hasn't reached us yet. That means we only see a fraction of what exists. As space continues to expand, more regions slip beyond our observational reach. The universe is a constantly growing, partially hidden puzzle, and we're the tiny pieces with calculators and a thirst for answers. The comedy of trying to comprehend infinity with finite brains is not lost on anyone who's stared at a star map for more than 5 minutes. And so the question persists, what is the universe expanding into? The best answer physicists can give is that it doesn't expand into anything. Expansion is an intrinsic property of spacetime itself. There is no edge, no outside, no cosmic padding to contain it. It's like asking what the inside of an infinite library expands into, or what's north of the North Pole. It's meaningless and meaningful at the same time, a joke with no punchline except the human attempt to understand it. Ultimately, the humor of the universe is in our struggle to comprehend it. Space stretches, galaxies drift, dark energy pushes, and humans scribble equations on whiteboards, occasionally muttering, "We should have just stayed home." The universe doesn't care. It just exists, expanding in every direction simultaneously, indifferent and subtly mocking. And yet, in that indifference lies beauty, and a little comedy. We're clever enough to notice the absurdity, patient enough to study it, and ridiculous enough to get mildly frustrated by it. So as you settle into this thought, consider a universe that has no edge, no outside, and no final destination. Space stretches, matter drifts apart, and time flows. Galaxies exist, light travels, and humans occasionally scratch their heads, wondering if infinity has a sense of humor. It does. And that humor is the quiet punchline behind the grand, expanding cosmos we inhabit. Let's pick up where we left off. The universe is expanding, but there's no outside. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. And yet, everything is moving apart, faster and faster, as if the cosmos itself decided to binge on some cosmic steroids. This is where the universe starts to feel less like a scientific problem, and more like a practical joke designed specifically to make humans question their life choices. Galaxies fly away from each other at speeds that would make a spacecraft designer cry, and the punchline is that we're supposed to figure out why and how, using brains evolved to catch berries and avoid lions. It's like trying to fix a spaceship using only a hairpin, duct tape, and a sense of misplaced confidence. Cosmologists explain this with the concept of metric expansion. Space itself stretches, carrying galaxies along for the ride. But stretching what? Into nothing? Exactly. There's no outside, so the universe isn't inflating into an empty void. It's just growing. Period. Imagine a loaf of bread that inflates on its own without air, yeast, or even an oven, and you're getting close. And yet, humans measure distances, calculate redshifts, and write formulas as if the loaf might obey our logic. There's comedy in that determination. The universe might be infinite. Or maybe it isn't. Either way, the question of what it expands into is tricky because expansion doesn't require a container. There is no cosmic stage beyond the universe, no room for more scenery. Trying to picture it is like picturing infinity having a backyard. Logically, it's impossible, and yet our brains insist on drawing fences. And the humor is in the insistence. Here we are, clever creatures capable of landing probes on comets, debating how to imagine something that has no frame of reference. Higher dimensional theories make things even weirder. Some physicists propose that our universe exists as a three-dimensional bubble in a higher dimensional space. If that's true, expansion could be the bubble inflating in directions we cannot perceive. The comedy here is visualizing it. A universe-inflating bubble floating in a higher dimensional bathtub while humans squint at projections on a 2D screen and declare, "I think we understand it now." Billions of years of expansion, and we're still essentially doodling on the cosmic notebook. Then comes cosmic inflation, the explosive growth in the first fractions of a second after the Big Bang. That event set the universe into motion, stretching tiny quantum fluctuations into the vast structure we see today. And here's the part that feels like a joke. We are living billions of years later, trying to make sense of something that happened so fast. Even light would be jealous. The universe has an early morning coffee speed that leaves humans scrambling with telescopes, supercomputers, and a profound sense of inadequacy. Dark energy accelerates this expansion. It's mysterious, pervasive, and roughly 70% of the energy in the universe. Basically, dark energy is the cosmic equivalent of someone pressing the gas pedal while laughing maniacally. Galaxies speed away from each other faster and faster, and our puny human efforts to chart, measure, or even understand this are like trying to slow a freight train with a paperclip and wishful thinking. The subtle humor is built in. The universe is expanding, we calculate, and the universe continues expanding, completely indifferent to our equations or frustrations. And what about the edge, or lack of one? The observable universe has a limit. Light from beyond a certain distance hasn't had time to reach us. Beyond that horizon lies regions we may never see. Space is expanding faster than light can travel relative to distant galaxies, creating an effective cosmic invisibility cloak. The universe is both everything and simultaneously hiding some of itself. There's a darkly funny irony here. The more the universe grows, the less we can know. Imagine reading a book where the words speed away faster than you can read them, and then trying to explain the plot to your friends. Multiverse theories add yet another layer. If our universe is one bubble among potentially countless others, then expansion might be relative to the bubble space itself. Bubbles could collide, merge, or drift apart indefinitely. It's a cosmic foam party, billions of bubbles bouncing, merging, and occasionally popping, while humans argue about the best way to measure the bubbles and whether one is their favorite. The absurdity is irresistible, an infinite party of universes, each with its own rules, and we're desperately trying to RSVP. Gravity complicates things further. While dark energy pushes galaxies apart, gravity keeps some structures bound. Clusters of galaxies resist the pull of expansion, holding together in a gravitational tug-of-war. It's a slow-motion cosmic ballet, where some dancers insist on holding hands while the floor itself stretches beneath them. And we sit on our little planet trying to diagram it with chalk and computers, occasionally muttering, "We've got this, maybe." The humor is subtle but persistent. Physics continues whether or not we approve. Time itself behaves differently across the expanding cosmos. Cosmic inflation, relativity, and the finite speed of light combine to make simultaneity a slippery concept. Events that seem simultaneous from one perspective aren't from another. The universe is a stage with countless actors performing scenes on different clocks, and our human sense of timing is laughably inadequate. We think we understand seconds, minutes, and hours, while the universe casually reshapes spacetime like a sculptor with a mischievous streak. Observationally, we face limits. The farther we look, the earlier in time we see. That means deep space telescopes are peering into the past, essentially time traveling without leaving the observatory. And yet, even the most advanced instruments can't reveal what lies beyond the observable horizon. We're forever limited, forever guessing, and forever slightly ridiculous in our attempts to grasp the entire cosmos. The universe has made us curious, clever, and subtly comedic. Quantum mechanics adds another layer of absurdity. On the tiniest scales, reality is probabilistic, uncertain, and occasionally bizarre. If the universe is expanding into nothing, it may also be fluctuating at scales we cannot perceive. Space itself could appear and vanish in quantum ripples, and we're here, measuring light from distant galaxies, blissfully unaware that reality is probably giggling at our naivety. The humor is subtle, cosmic, and relentless. So what are we left with? The universe expands, faster than intuition can follow. There's no outside to expand into. Observations are limited. Dark energy accelerates everything. Higher dimensional space may exist, or it may not. Infinite possibilities collide with finite human brains. And through it all, we persist, asking, measuring, theorizing, occasionally throwing up our hands, and laughing quietly at the absurdity. In the grand scheme, the question itself, what is the universe expanding into, might be the punchline. Not because it's a joke in a traditional sense, but because the universe exists, expands, and continues relentlessly, without concern for human logic. We ask, calculate, model, and simulate, all while the cosmos stretches past comprehension. It's as if infinity itself is silently snickering, while we try to figure out the punchline. And yet, there's joy in that absurdity. Every equation, every observation, every hypothesis is a tiny human rebellion against the unknowable. The universe may be infinite, expanding into nothing, and indifferent to our curiosity, but we notice. We care. We calculate. And in that effort, there's humor, wonder, and a profound sense of being alive at exactly the right, or hilariously wrong, moment in cosmic history. By now, the universe is expanding, faster than light in some sense, into, well, nothing. No outside, no edge, no cosmic padding. And yet, that expansion continues relentlessly, like a toddler with a permanent sugar high stomping across an infinite living room. But this is where things get even more ridiculous. Consider the multiverse. If our universe is one bubble in a vast cosmic foam, then there might be trillions, or infinitely many, other bubbles, each expanding, colliding, and occasionally popping like popcorn in a pan. And we're on this tiny blue dot, trying to make sense of it, while our species still can't figure out how to assemble IKEA furniture without arguing. The scale of absurdity is delicious. Colliding universes might leave fingerprints. If two bubbles meet, they could ripple spacetime, warp physical constants, or leave anomalies in the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang. We may already be seeing hints. Tiny fluctuations could be cosmic slapstick, like two invisible clowns bumping into each other in the dark. And our clever human brains, with telescopes and supercomputers, detect these tiny irregularities and say, that's interesting, which is humanity's equivalent of applauding quietly at a joke we almost didn't notice. Cosmic horizons make the universe even more absurd. The farther we look, the earlier in time we see. There are regions of the universe so distant that their light will never reach us because space expands faster than the speed of light. In a way, we're surrounded by invisible galaxies that exist but are forever beyond reach. It's like knowing there's a party across the street, but the street keeps stretching, so you'll never get there. And we're still studying it with the same intensity as someone planning a road trip that will never happen. Cosmic frustration is real, and hilarious if you step back and admire the audacity of infinity. Then there's the ultimate cosmic speed bump, entropy. The universe is running down, slowly converting usable energy into unusable heat. Stars burn out, galaxies drift apart, and eventually the universe might reach heat death, a state of perfect thermal equilibrium where nothing interesting happens. It's like a party that went on for billions of years, and now everyone's asleep. The chips are stale, and the music stopped. And yet, in this slow march toward cosmic boredom, life has evolved, observed, calculated, and occasionally laughed at the absurdity of it all. The philosophical implications are exquisite. We are tiny observers in a universe that doesn't expand into anything but still stretches infinitely, possibly one bubble among trillions, forever outpaced by its own growth. And the humor? Humans fret about taxes, traffic, and Wi-Fi while existing in a reality that dwarfs comprehension. Billions of galaxies drift apart in a cosmic ballet we can barely follow, and we're here trying to map it, simulate it, and explain it in YouTube videos. Cosmic humility has a sense of humor, and we are living proof. Quantum mechanics adds its own absurdity. On the smallest scales, the universe is probabilistic, uncertain, and sometimes outright bizarre. Space itself could fluctuate, appear and disappear in quantum ripples, and create regions that defy classical understanding. Meanwhile, we peer through telescopes and simulators, scribbling equations furiously, like a kid trying to predict the trajectory of a sneeze. The comedy lies in trying to tame the untamable, quantify the infinite, and somehow remain coherent while doing it. Dark energy continues its relentless acceleration, stretching space faster with every passing second. Galaxies beyond a certain distance recede faster than light relative to us, meaning they're effectively out of causal contact. Future civilizations, billions of years from now, may look back and see only their local galactic neighborhood, completely unaware of the cosmic web that once existed. The universe has a sense of irony baked in. The more it expands, the less its history can be observed. The punchline is that infinity is playing hide and seek with its own parts, and humans are the poor, eager seekers. Cosmic inflation, dark energy, and the multiverse together create a ridiculous scenario. Imagine an infinite foam of universes, some colliding, some accelerating apart, with invisible galaxies slipping forever beyond reach. And us? We're sitting on Earth, calculating, debating, and occasionally glancing at the stars, trying to draw straight lines on a surface that doesn't even obey straight lines. The audacity is spectacular, the absurdity is hilarious, and the scale is breathtaking. Time itself feels strange here. Events that appear simultaneous from one perspective are not from another. Light traveling across expanding space reaches us delayed, so we're constantly peering into the past. The universe is not only expanding into nothing, but it's also warping when we try to observe it. And in that warped time, human brains still demand coherent narratives, formulas, and explanations. It's a cosmic practical joke with us as the punchline, clever enough to observe, incapable of fully comprehending, and thoroughly entertained or confused by the result. And then there's the ultimate cosmic absurdity, infinity itself. If the universe is infinite, or the multiverse is, then every possible configuration of matter exists somewhere. Somewhere, there's a planet where humans are arguing about the same cosmic questions, while also walking on stilts and drinking pickle juice. Somewhere, a version of you is reading this script while calculating the speed of a hyperinflating galaxy and laughing at the irony. The sheer ridiculousness of existence, magnified to infinite scales, is almost too funny to contemplate. Despite all this, humans persist in trying to measure, predict, and explain.